Hello everybody, I'm Kat, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the books that disappointed me the most in 2018. There are 9 books on this list. I read a lot of mediocre books this year, but I want to say that there are some books on this list that I still somewhat enjoyed. I just thought I would like them more, and thus I was disappointed in the fact that I did not like them as much. There are also books on this list that I flat out hated, so yeah, let's get into it. This list is in the order of how I read them this year because that's how I usually do my lists, because stack ranking them is hard. Though I do have probably my most hated book this year, which I will definitely be sharing with you because I hated it so much. So the very first book on this list is Jess Chunk and the Road Trip to Infinity. I forget who the author is, but this book was about a road trip, and it's about these two friends who decide to go on a road trip to crash one of the characters' dad's wedding. I thought it would be fun, cute, diverse. No. The main character was stupidly whiny. I hated her so much. She was so whiny about everything. She was very angry about a lot of things when she shouldn't have been. She got angry at Chunk a lot, and I felt so bad for Chunk for most of this book because most of the book she was just yelling at him for no reason, and he was just kind of like, I don't know what to do, man. I think I gave this book 3 stars. That sounds about right. It might be closer to 2.5 looking at it now, but you know, that was the rating I gave it. Let's just say I was disappointed. I was hoping it would be like a diverse Amy and Roger's epic detour, but no, it wasn't. The next book on this list is The 100 Lies of Lizzie Levitt, and I also forget the author's name. I'm horrible, I'm sorry. But this book was actually the only DNF I had this year. I think I got about 20 pages in. No, I think I got a little bit more than that. I think I got close to 10% into it on Goodreads. The issue I had with this book was that the main character claimed that she hated Lizzie Levitt, yet she was so interested in the mystery of Lizzie's disappearance, and that made no sense. Like, she was like, I hate Lizzie, but you know, this mystery sounds awfully good. You make no sense, right? Like, you'd have to be somewhat interested in this girl to want to look at why she disappeared, you know? But she kept claiming she hated her, even though she was interested in the mystery. So just based off of that, and based off of the fact that the main character was so wishy-washy about that, I just DNF'd it. I was like, you know, I'm not having this. Thank you, next. The next book that disappointed me was Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I've talked about this book quite a bit on my channel, but I hated it so much. I hated the characters, I hated the setting, I hated the plot, I hated the symbolism. I just hated it. I hated it. I think I gave it like 2 stars. That sounds about right. I think 2 stars for the 2 characters I liked in it. I was disappointed because so many people were like, you're gonna love this book. No, I didn't. I do like this edition though. It's a very nice edition. So that's why I kept it, because I really like how it looks on my shelf. The next book that disappointed me, actually I don't know if this is gonna come as a surprise, but it's definitely an unpopular opinion, and that is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I think I gave this book 3 stars, so I still enjoyed it, but I thought I would love it more because I love John Green's other books, but this book was just a miss. What did I not like about this book? I didn't like the best friend. She was horrible, probably the worst character John Green has ever written. If you say, nope, that's Margot from Paper Towns, you are wrong. It's Daisy. I will defend Paper Towns with my life because that is like my favorite John Green book. I didn't like the fact that it wasn't funny. Like, John Green's books are always funny, even The Fault in Our Stars. Like, there are moments where you will die laughing in that book and then you will sob your eyes out. This book had no funny bits in it, and I was like, what happened? You know, I came here to laugh, but I didn't laugh. What's the main character's name again? Oh god, I've forgotten. I liked her, but there were moments where she just was unlikable. I mean, the plot was very John Green, like the whole billionaire thing, but it was literally dropped 2/3 of the way into the book. Like, it was completely forgotten about, and then quickly, like at the end in the last chapter, he just like wrapped it up. You dropped it entirely. Needless to say, this book severely disappointed me. I think I liked the love interest. I can't remember their names. I think I liked him. I don't know, it just wasn't a John Green book to me. Like, it didn't have the humor in it, and the characters just weren't as strong to me as they are in his other books. The beginning was very John Green-like, but then it's completely forgotten about within the last half of the book. I still somewhat liked it, but I wanted to like it more, and that's why I was disappointed in it. The next book on this list is By Your Side by Casey West. The thing with Casey West's books is that I either somewhat like them, like I don't want to say love them, but I really like them, like I give them 4 stars, or I absolutely hate them. I absolutely hated this one. So I went into this book thinking it was going to be like, you know, oh cute, you know, boy girl get locked in the library, fun, right? No, that's not what it's about. Literally, the library thing is dropped within, I want to say the first 100 pages, something like that. And the rest of the book is this weird If I Stay retelling, almost. I don't know if she meant it to be like If I Stay, but it's literally If I Stay that I can't handle it. It's gender swapped though, so the girl isn't in the coma. It drove me insane. I felt like I was rereading If I Stay from a different point of view. It was so stupid and so dumb. People hyped this up and they were like, it's cute, it's fun, you'll love it. No. I think I gave it 2 stars. I was gonna give it 1, but I think I gave it 2 because I just kept laughing at the stupidity of it all. I do plan on reading Casey West's other books though because I have enjoyed some of hers in the past. The next disappointing book is Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at this. This book follows this boy his freshman year of high school, and it's told in the format of letters that he is writing to a friend. I think I gave this book like 3.5 stars, so once again this was a book that I still enjoyed, but I thought I would enjoy it more, and that's why I was disappointed in it. I think my favorite part of this book was Patrick. He was the best part of this whole book. The main issue I had with it, it was more me rather than the book. It would get too sad, so I would physically like have to put the book down and like go to bed because it would make me feel so sad after reading it. I would only be able to handle reading like about 5 to 8 pages at a time. It was a lot for me. Just getting through this book, because it's a fairly short book. I think it's just over 100 pages. It just took me a while to get through it because it was just so sad. And I wasn't expecting it to be sad. Patrick was the best part of this book. I loved him so much. He saved the book for me. I didn't like the decisions the main character made. I forget his name. But I didn't like the decisions he made because he obviously knew like he was depressed or he had mental illness, but he still made decisions that would make it even worse for him. And I think he knew that, but he went along with his decisions anyway, and I didn't like that. Like I said, I gave it 3.5 stars. I still somewhat liked it. I hoped I would like it more, but I didn't. The next disappointing read on this list is Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kahn, I believe. This book is about this girl named Alice who is coming to terms with the fact that she is asexual. She realizes this after she breaks up with her girlfriend. Shortly after she has this breakup, she meets this guy at her job at the library, and she thinks he's really cute, but she's afraid to tell him that she's asexual. And I think that's the basic plot. This book was boring. I didn't like any of the characters. They were all very flat to me. The plot wasn't very interesting. The author would do certain things that annoyed me. She would write in parentheses a lot, which didn't make sense for most of the book. The main character has this like cutie code thing that she kept referencing to, but that was never fully explained, the different levels of it. I like didn't get it. The main character like got on my nerves quite a bit. There was something with her relationship with her parents that really bugged me. This book was a miss for me. I just didn't like it, which is really sad because I really wanted to like it because so many people were talking about it and loving it and recommending it, and so I was like, maybe I'll like it. No, I didn't. I think I gave this book 2 stars. I don't think I gave lower than 2 stars. There's one book on this list that I want to change my rating to. We'll get to that later. The next book on this list is The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Gu. This book is the stupidest book I've ever read. It's the worst book I've ever read. I hated it so much, but I think I was nice, and at the time I gave it 2 stars. Honestly, I would give this book 1.5. It's not good at all. So this book is about this girl who gets into trouble at school, and suddenly she and her enemy have to work at her dad's food truck for the summer. Yeah, that's like the basic plot of it. The main character is so immature for her age. I couldn't handle it. She was behaving like a 11, 12-year-old, not like I think she's 16 or 17. She wasn't behaving like a 16 or 17-year-old. She was so immature, and it drove me insane. Like, I just wanted to go in there and smack her and be like, you need to grow up. I hated her. I didn't like any of the other characters really. There weren't any particular characters that like stood out to me, and the plot was kind of boring. Like, nothing really happened for most of the book. Then a romance was kind of thrown in. I want to give this book 1.5 stars. That's how I feel. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. I do want to read her other book though because I've heard pretty good things about it, so maybe I'll like that one, but I hated this book. And I think I read this book for Booktubeathon actually, so it's kind of sad. And the very last book on this list is one that I'm very sad to put on here, but you know, I was hoping to like this book more, but it just disappointed me in how much I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. And that is High Society by Ali Carter. I really wanted to love this book, but I think I gave it like 3.5 stars. I still liked it, but I wanted to give it like 4.5, maybe even 5 stars, but I just couldn't. It was pretty meh to me. The plot was kind of boring. I liked Kat and Hale, and I wished we got more of them, but we didn't. This book is about this girl who comes from a family of thieves. She herself has decided that she is not going to be a thief like everyone else in her family. She decides to just kind of lay low at her boarding school, but then one day she finds out that her dad's life may be in danger if she doesn't steal a painting from the Louvre and return it to its rightful owner. It makes me so sad to put this book on this list because I really wanted to like it. I did like it. I wanted to love it, and I just couldn't. I still had fun with it. I gave it 3.5 stars. Like, I still liked it, but I wanted to love it, and I just couldn't. And so that's why I put this book on this list. And those are my most disappointing books of 2018. If any of these books are your favorites, I'm glad that you liked them. They just weren't for me, and that's okay. We all have different opinions, you know? That's it for this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every Thursday, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Am I still gonna post videos every Thursday? Yes.